Good afternoon. Thank you for coming today to listen to the voices of the parents of Al-Madinah Free School. I have here with me a copy of a letter which we have sent today to Lord Nash and the Department of Education. This letter has been signed and approved by almost 150 parents. This has been done in the last 48 hours during the school holidays. As you can appreciate the strength of this letter. Now I'll read the letter out to you. The parents of the children at Al-Madinah Free School have formed an independent group to ensure that our children's educational development is considered first and foremost by all parties involved. We are pleased that the local Muslim community have been under the free school program to open a school which will fulfill the vision of educating and inspiring our children, as we felt there was room for improvement locally. We are aware that Al-Madinah School had a positive start early on, as evidenced by a DFE report at the end of November 2012. Unfortunately, things began to slip midway in the new year due to leadership capacity. We are saddened, angered, and extremely concerned in the way different organisations, both locally and nationally, are speaking on behalf of the future of our children. They do not represent our children. We, the parents, have this right. We are aware of another free school that has been investigated, where they have not performed well and also have been investigated for financial irregularities a little while ago. However, it seems that they have avoided the media attention that Al-Madinah School has received. We are upset that official documentation has been leaked to the media. Unfortunately, a lot of this has been negative, and positive elements of the school have not been highlighted. We request Ofsted and DFE to urgently investigate how the media has received this information before the principal and parents of this school. It would seem that the media get information before the school does. The interim principal and members of the governing body of the school have had meetings with parents and addressed questions and concerns in a clear and direct manner, with a transparent plan of improvements already underway and the way forward. They also shared and outlined proposals of restructuring the management team and outlined the credentials and experience of the proposed governing team. We, the parents, strongly request you give this proposal due and proper consideration. We also request that if changes are considered to be made by the DFE regarding the leadership team, then they will need to reflect the theological views of the majority of the local Muslim community, which may be different to other cities. If changes are to be made to the structure of the leadership team, we would appreciate to be consulted before any possible changes are considered, as any decision will affect the future of this school and, most importantly, our children. Now, if you have any questions, the parents side of me will be more than willing to answer some of those questions.
So, essentially, would you like, tomorrow's the deadline, isn't it, for the school to submit evidence that it's got a plan going forward? Do you want more time so that any changes will be taken into consideration by the Department for Education? Is that what you're saying?
I think the school are on target from our conversations with the leadership team. They've said they're on target to meet the deadline tomorrow, and we just want due and proper consideration to be given to the proposals that they set forward. At the end of the day, these are our children's lives, this is their education, and I think the school, it's been running for a year, and I think it just needs to be given due and proper consideration.
And what do you make, obviously, the Ofsted report said that it failed it was inadequate in every area. I mean, it's going to be quite difficult to come back from failing in every single area.
I think the school did have weaknesses, and obviously the school have addressed those weaknesses. They've said we've had weaknesses and we need to address those. They've also worked extremely hard. We've seen a lot of work from upon the trust and putting many hours in, long hours. They're probably, it's school holidays, they're probably there today at the school. Now obviously they're addressing all the issues that Mr. Nash has, Lord Nash has asked them to improve. As far as we're concerned, they've improved those. Also, as we've asked many questions to them that maybe the media are not aware of. And obviously we have many concerns that we've addressed. Some of those concerns are to do with the management and how this will be reorganised. They've assured us that they will have, and we've had some consultation in regards to the new management team, and there'll be a new restructuring. There'll be approximately 10 new people of the management team, and they'll come from also different types of skill sets, from different backgrounds, experience in education, in finance, different areas to run a school properly. We're also slightly concerned because the former head teacher told us as parents. He told us we had a parents' evening. He informed us last year in December 2012. Is that correct? He informed us in November 2012 or December 2012. He informed us that the DFE has been in, and they've given a very good rating to the school in terms of teaching, in terms of the behaviour of the children, in terms of health and safety. So we have a situation where we're told 3 months into the school by the former head teacher that the Department of Education has rated the school good in all areas. And then and then obviously they had a management issue where the head teacher left. The head teacher of the primary school left, so senior management left. So obviously this is a huge thing. Which school can do well under those circumstances?
And so also, I think if you consider, you as journalists, if your senior editor were to leave, the assistant editor were to leave, and somebody else that's key to the running of the business, if you have 3 of the senior membership leave, how would the organisations that you work for, how would they carry on? So there's always an impact to senior management sort of moving on and leaving post. So yeah.
Okay, and what about calls recently from various groups asking the trustees to step down, all of them?
How I would respond to that, we have a signature, we have a petition with over 1,000 signatures from people of the community, the wider community, the local and the wider community, with over 1,000 signatures supporting the changes that the current governors are putting forward. So they're supporting the changes that they're making, so they have confidence in the changes that they're making. So we do require more time on this, and we need the Department of Education to make a decision.
I also wanted to get your thoughts on initial allegations about the apparent segregation of boys and girls.
Well, what I would say is, you've seen the Ofsted report. Clearly states that there has not been. All parents, we've been talking to parents in the meetings, not one parent has said, I have got a problem where my girl or boy has been segregated and he feels uncomfortable in there. We haven't, and the Ofsted report proves it. There is not. So, where that story came from, who did it, that's a concern to us. This is why as parents we say, there's a lot of things that we've asked, media's asked, and we're saying most of it's not true. Yes, we needed to find information before we could come in front of you and say blah blah blah. But at the moment, we had to gather our information to give you.
Okay. What about CRB checks though? Because the paperwork wasn't in place, and I suppose that's not acceptable.
Well, on that occasion, what I would say is, if the DFE had the actual consultant come in, made the report in November 2010. School, on that report, if there was issues, that would have been erased. Come out in the media that, why on these CRB's reports done? There was no concern there. And from my understanding, a school cannot start without proper checks being done. So the DFE have done the proper checks to make sure the school has a system in place to do that. And if they, so this will come back, if the system was not there, the CRBs weren't done, then who is responsible to give the go-ahead of running, the school to start? And as I'm aware from, from actually asking questions from the inter-principal, because all these things are done before we can actually even open the school.
But there wasn't the evidence, because obviously the school had to
Well,
close.
this is where we
I think we need to remember also that the school did have quite major technical issues in that the system went down and even backups that had all gone blank. Everything, all the information had been erased. And so at that point, the school were playing catch-up in trying to make sure that they recovered all the information that they had on those systems. And I think they'd achieved the majority of it, and I think it was just a few, as I think they said there were 3 or 4, 2 references, I think, from what I remember.
I think it's all